Michael, in terms of all-round performances, where does that rank?
It was a good performance. Moved the ball well, physically dominant, I thought. So I was disappointed with the goal. I thought we deserved a clean sheet. I didn't think they hurt us enough to score a goal. But no, really happy with the overall performance.
And up front, the two older players absolutely ran the ragged.
Yeah, well, the young lad that I think that's 18. I think that was his debut. So as an 18-year-old, I'm not sure you want to come across those two on that sort of form. But that's what we want. Ty's not been in the team, but he's come in and affected the group. Dorse had to wait 2 months. He came off the bench and affected it, but he still had to wait. And it's what you want. You want people affecting the team. You want people hungry and driven. And I thought, yeah, the front two they were excellent. So they've been excellent in the season, but now we've got different things that we can do with different people. Because at the start of the season, or when I first came in, it was almost like it was those two, and that was it. Well, now you've got people like Billy, who's a little bit different, Rakish's a little bit different, and Lloydie a little bit different. So it's a good thing from my point of view.
And at home, you're starting to score a reasonable number of goals. Yeah,
Northampton are a tough team. I think they were unbeaten in 8. They've conceded 4 goals in the last 8 games. So to score 3 against them, and the keeper's made 3 or 4 good saves with a couple of one-on-ones. So I thought the thing I was most pleased with, I thought we hurt them in different ways today. I thought we moved the ball well, but we went long as well. That's what I don't want to play one style. If you keep the ball, we went to a stage where we went to Crawley away and it was 600-700 passes, but we never really hurt them. When I first came in, we probably went a bit too long, so now we're starting to get a balance of both, which is ideally what we want.
We've spoken an awful lot about Luke Varney, but when you signed him, were you expecting this number of goals?
I don't know, I'd never done it before, so I don't know, what's he on now? Is that 12, 13?
13.
Is it? Yeah, so that's a great return. I'm almost fed up with talking about him now, because like I said, he's been great. Knowing him like I did, he was never known as a goal scorer, but he was always the foil. When he plays with Tyrone, he gets a different role. You can see him working off Tyrone rather than being the one flicking on to people.
How well did you know him before you signed him?
Only from playing against him. I didn't know him personally. I just knew he's an handful. He never gives you a minute's peace, and you don't play at the level that he's played at without having a game understanding. So it wasn't a personal relationship. It was a phone call from a friend of mine who I played with, who used to be with Reg, and it was like, "Do you fancy it?" He said yes, and it's been. I think we've been good for each other.
And the midfield today seemed to complement each other very well.
Again, Clem is what he is. Clem will give the ball away, but that's because he wants to get on the ball and make it pass. So you've got to accept that sometimes, because with respect, he's not Iniesta or Xavi. But he has the confidence and he has the belief in himself to take the ball, and that's what we want. And obviously Tilly comes in, he gives it a bit more of a dog as regards to, I don't mean that disrespectfully, but he comes out with the ball, he's more defensive minded. And then Dorse does what he does, he pops up in areas, he runs in behind constantly, so you've got the front two beating the centre halves up and you've got Dorse running in behind them as well. So again, it was a good all-round performance. So you can look at the back, you can look at the wing backs, the back three was solid, so very, very pleased.
Up to 48 points now, very close to the number you said you wanted. Realistically now, can you start planning for next season?
I'd like to think we've got enough now. I don't know what the gap is now. I think I know there's a 5-point gap between us and the next team, so probably yes. But I don't want the group to come off it. We worked too hard to get out of that bottom group into the next group. I've just said that to them. They've worked for 5-6 months to get where they are now, so to just give it up in the last 6 weeks of the season, I think would be a shame. I still want them to deliver a performance like that. You walk off a pitch and when you've run around and you've won tackles and you've headed it but you've passed it as well, you enjoy it as a player. You don't want to come off the pitch going, oh, I wish I'd have done better there. They are professionals, it's their job. Now it does happen, I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'd like to think that it's a motivated group and they do want to keep going.
You've made an awful lot of play about the amount of work that's gone on. You've been in professional football a long time. Is the amount of work that's gone on more than you think normally happens?
Not where I've been. I think I've just come from a club they are where they are. I think they've just brought £500 or £600 million in the last 3 or 4 years because of hard work. I believe it pays you back. I said it when we couldn't win a game. You keep working, you keep working. I said to Tyrone at half-time, I said, if you put that performance in again, it sort of owes you a goal. And he went and got his goal. It doesn't always work like that. You don't always get what you deserve. But if you keep doing the right things often enough, something will drop for you.
I recognise you want to finish as high and as many points as you can get, but does this now give you the opportunity to potentially change things around and try a few things out?
No, because that would be me going against what I've just said to you. We want to keep going. It doesn't mean other people might get an opportunity, yes, but I'll just expect the same things from them. It's not a case of, well, we'll just go and play the young lads now. Not the case at all. Whatever team we put out, whatever game, I want to win. Yes, there is a bigger picture, and we need to see different people maybe at times, but it won't be a case of, we've got 3 games left, we'll just play who we want now. It's not the way I work.
If I take you back to Stevenage game, which potentially was the lowest point, did you really expect to be standing here talking to us at the end of March with 48 points on the board?
I didn't expect to be standing in front of you, if I was honest. It was a watershed moment. It was a turgid performance, and you can accept it, but that was against the Stevenage team. With respect, they're not the best team in the league, but a lot of it's confidence. Players run quicker, they can jump higher, they'll take the ball and pass it better with a little bit of confidence, and it took a lot of hard work to get that ball rolling. We need to address the away form. That's the next thing. I think the last 3 away performances have been good, so they deserve more than what they have, and keep rolling out performances. Hopefully the supporters will enjoy games like that. It was free flowing at times, it was dogged at times, and they've seen 3 goals, could have been 4 or 5.
Did you really fear for your job at one stage?
I'm not saying I feared for my job, because it's not about me. It was just, this is probably a little bit more hard work than what I thought it was going to be. But the players have been brilliant from day dot. And it's easy to say that now, where we are now. But I was saying it, I tell it as it is. I think most of the time I don't really do the BS. And the players know that as well, so if they're good, they're not, I'll tell them. Yeah, it was a tough moment.
But you just said that you weren't sure you'd be standing in front of us.
Yeah, well, I didn't overthink it. Like I said, I believed that if I kept working, something would drop. So I didn't overthink it. There was no pressure from the board, as if, there is pressure, because the pressure comes from within. I've achieved more than I've not in a career, with hard work and a good mentality. So I wasn't a very good player, but I did okay in the end. So that's what I keep working. Keep people like Sean Dyche were brilliant. People like Steve Cottrell, picking the phone up, asking, helping, because I'm learning all the time. So I'm no different to a young player now. I'm trying to sponge it up.
Do you still speak to Sean Dyche and Steve Cottrell?
Yeah, Steve's here today, so I spoke to him before the game. I call them both gaffers still, so I was going to say the gaffer, but they're both the gaffer. He's probably texted me and rung me more than anyone. So it just goes to show you what type of people they are, what sort of person Dyche is. You speak at the level that they're at now, he could quite easily go, but I think he cares. He's seen what I did for him, he's seen how hard I worked for him. It's a two-way street, both respect things, so he's been great. And he was, in that early stage, he was the one ringing me more than anyone, because he knows how hard it is. Only really managers, I didn't know what I was walking into. It's only they know how hard it. You're the one that goes home and can't sleep at night, and you're picking teams at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that was all new to me.
And did that happen to you, picking teams at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a strange thing. It's because I was new to it. You're finding out different types of pressures. It's how can you change it? What can you do? But I took the job, so it's not like a sob story. It was just a case. Everything was new, so I've probably learned more. I'd imagine in that first 10 games, I've probably learned more about myself than I had done in a long time.
What do you think you learned about yourself?
Just believe in yourself. I think I'm good at what I do. I didn't know I was good, and I still don't know whether I'll be any good. But I think I know the game. I went away and spent a long time learning, and just I got back to what I said. It pays you back if you work hard enough. It'll pay you back.
You've always worked hard as both a coach and a manager and as a player. As you come towards the end of the season, do you feel more tired now as a manager than you did as a player or a coach?
It's a different sort of tiredness. I'm tired when I walk upstairs now because I'm so fat and my knees are giving up. But it's mentally draining. You play 3 games in a week. On the Saturday after the game, you literally are drained. Some people might think that's strange, but the more people I speak to, the more it happens. And this is at the lower end of the market as regards to if you go up the leagues and the money gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's different types of pressures. So that's the job. It's why it's like a drug. That's why we want to do it as well. Because if you come out of it, you miss it as well.
6 months in, have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, no, there's no getting away. I conversely enjoyed the challenge when it wasn't going well. And like I said, this is not all right, hip hip hooray, we're all safe and everything, because I want to keep improving. I want to keep improving the players. I think it's important they want to keep learning. So it's been a good 6 months overall.
Michael, thanks so much.
Cheers, mate.